Hey everyone, today it is Friday, and you know what that means. It is classic tabletop RPG time, and we are continuing our series on Gamma World, creating our last character in 4th edition. So, let's do this. Welcome to RPG Elite, where we put the RP back into RPG, giving you tools and tips and tutorials on how to make your RPG experience more immersive and enjoyable. If this is your first time coming to the channel, I want to welcome you. I want to thank you for coming by. For all my other elites, thank you so much for coming by as well. Now, if you're finding that, hey, I like these videos, I like what this cat is doing, please go ahead, consider subscribing. Hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell. I come out with videos every Tuesday and Friday, and we keep it 100 here as far as classic RPGs. Today we are going to go a little further with my character that I am getting attached to, Bondo, the mutated gorilla. Let's look at him right here. Let's look at him. Come on now. Gotta love him. Gots to love him. Bondo, my mutated gorilla. And so we're going to go a little bit further by doing his mutations and getting those all squared away. And we're going to do his skills as well. And we're also going to choose a class for him now. In 4th edition, classes have come back. And so we're going to choose a class for him as well. So strap in. This one's going to be a little longer, but this is going to be a 3-parter. Regardless of the fact, I'm trying to make it as short as possible, but you guys said you didn't care, so this one's going to be a little longer, probably in a high 20-minute range. So strap in for this as we continue making our mutated gorilla, Bondo. Let's do it. The next thing that you would need to figure out for a mutated animal is if they have any humanoid traits. Now, primarily, we're talking about things that humans can do that they couldn't do. For example, with a plant, or not a plant, with some, like bats can't really walk, right? But if you wanted a bat that could walk around on the ground, okay, well, you know, I mean, you could do that. However, you wouldn't get that bonus physical mutation. Now, the main thing with Bondo, as far as I can think of, is that he's not going to be able to speak. And that's pretty much for all mutated animals. Do I want to take speaking and just ixnay the physical mutation, the extra one, the bonus one? Or do I want to forego that and not take that, get the bonus physical mutation, and figure out some other way of communication? Interesting. But you want to know something? I'm going to wait on that one. I'm going to wait because I don't know what my mutations are, and that probably is going to affect it. So I'll wait to see and go on to the next thing that we need to do, which would be to roll for our senses. Now, our senses is 46, and you drop the lowest, and I already got a macro for that. So let's see what I can get. A 10. All right, that's not bad. Not bad. I'll go ahead and push a 10. There you go. Simple. And let's go ahead and get straight to the mutations. So where's my table? Here's the table. So in 4th edition, they do how you get your amount of mutations a little differently. What they do is they just have this table right here, and you roll 1d6, and whatever you roll is how many, it will tell you how many mutations you have, physical and mental, just with the one roll. For example, if you rolled a 4, you would get 4 physical and 1 mental. So it's a total of 5 altogether. So you, unless you roll on the table that you get an extra one, you get everybody's going to get 5 mutations who are eligible to get mutations. Okay, so I'm going to roll 1d6, and I'm just going to put in the formula right here and roll and see what I can get. Got a 6, which means I have no physical mutations, right? All mental mutations. See, I told you I should wait. I should wait. So I am excited about seeing what kind of mutations Bondo is going to get, because that's what I wanted. I wanted him to be smart, relatively smart. So he's pretty smart. And also, oh, I did forget one thing. Let's go back and do one more thing. We only got one more thing that we need to do, which is put your modifiers in. Put your modifiers in. Okay, so where's my modifier table? Here's the mod table. Okay, so in the modifiers here, it's different than in the other editions. In the other editions is if you got a 15 or higher, that's when you started getting modifiers. So a 16, you got a +1, 17, you got a +2, 18, you got a +3, and 18 was the highest you can go. Not in 4th edition. In 4th edition, you get a modifier starting at 13. So for Bondo, he gets 1 in Dex, which I wasn't expecting. So he gets a +1 in Dex. He has a 20, right? So that's over 18. So he gets a +4 in his physical. So he doesn't really need, too much physical. So he gets a +4 there. All right. He's got a 17 in his constitution, and that's a +3. Let's do that. Man, he's killing it. All right. Let's go over to our mental abilities here. And 11 doesn't get anything, but 15 does. 15 gets a +2 mod. Oh man, I'm killing him. I'm knocking it out the box here. And then 8 is just in the threshold right here of just being 0 and not being a negative, not being a negative modifier. Woohoo! All right, so we've put all of our modifiers there, and now it's time to go to the mutation list. And I'm going to go right there. Ta-ta. And it's mental mutation, so let me move it up a little bit so you guys can see most of it. And actually, I'm going to move that to the side, move this to the side a little bit, and move this over a little bit so you guys can see. And mental mutations is in the middle here. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Mental mutations is in the middle here. So we are going to roll percentile die to see. And maybe I'll go ahead and do this. I will go ahead and I will. So now you guys are going to be able to see what I roll. And he has 5, right? All right, let's see what Bondo gets. First roll is 86. Let's go down. Thought imitation. Thought imitation is the same thing that Kyler got on his reindeer. So I already know what it does, and it's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. So thought imitation. I'm just writing that down. All right, so let's go on to the next one, which is 58. Psychometry. I have no idea, but I'm going to find out. And it looks like it's got a asterisk next to it, so I'm going to have to figure out what that is too. But we're just going to keep going. We're going to keep rolling. Third one is 38. 38 is magnetic control. How cool is that? Come on. How cool is that? Magnetic control. This is exactly the kind of This is exactly the kind of gorilla that I had in mind, so this is really dope. It's really dope. All right, we've got our fourth mutation. 63 is, oh, this is a defect. So if it has a D next to it on the table anywhere, it means it's a defect. So he has seizures. And that's kind of a cool role-playing thing. So he has one defect, which is not bad. I don't care about that. Like I said, it's a good role-play opportunity. Last one is 13. Let's go down. Displacement. Now, if I remember, this is kind of a cool power. But I have to go and I have to read up on it. Okay, so there we have all of his mutations. And so the thing to do is I'm going to go and make those mutations, and then I'll meet you on the other side. All right, well, we have everything added now. And as you can see, I've been messing with the background and stuff, trying to get it to what I want. And this is actually what I want. I want it kind of like a hazard sign like that. I'm still working on it because these things should kind of move out as well, but not a big deal. So here we are with the mental mutations. Got them all in here. Figured out what some of these were. Displacement is basically a subconscious teleport for Bondo when he's in stressful situations or is in danger, specifically when he's in danger. So his subconscious will teleport him away someplace safe if he is in danger. Kind of cool power. And magnetic control is exactly what it sounds like. Psychometry. Now that one was kind of interesting. And you can't see anything here because I changed everything. But basically, psychometry is his ability to be able to read the past of an object. So it's going to help him also with his use artifact ability. So his use artifact is right here, and it's going to help him with that. Gives him +3 with that whenever he's trying to figure out an artifact. That's kind of cool. Seizures is self-explanatory. He goes into a seizure for, I think it's 2d4 rounds when he's in a stressful situation. Has a 5% chance. And then thought imitation is kind of a cool one. If someone uses a mental power against him, he takes the full effect, but he has the ability to imitate exactly what they've just did and do the same thing to them. So that I think is rather cool. So he's got all of his mental mutations in place. And so now we're going to move on to the next part, which is to put in the scores here. And just like 3rd edition, all of your mutations have a score. Okay, so if you remember, oops, he's a little, it's a little out there, isn't it? Okay, here we go. So if you remember, he has a MP means mutation power. And so he has to roll 46 minus the lowest, same thing as he did with his senses. And so we're going to do that, and we're just going to roll for all 5 of them. Well, actually, there are only 3 of these that actually has a mutation power. So if you remember on the, and let's go back to the list. If you remember on the list, it had these asterisks. Well, that means that they have a score. If they don't have an asterisk, they don't have a score, you don't have to worry about it. So I have a score for psychometry, magnetic control, and displacement. So we're going to roll 3 times and we're going to see what we get. And I believe it's this one here. So let's see what we can get. I'm just going to roll and then I'm going to place them wherever I feel like it. Ooh, that's a good one. 14. Gotta like that. Oh, That's not too bad. 12. And 9. Okay, so believe it or not, I am going to place 9 in my psychometry. We'll put 14. You know what? I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to put 12 here. And I'm going to put 14 in displacement. Now, why would I do that? Because most people would probably put their highest one in magnetic control. The reason why I did that is that displacement, actually, if you're looking right here on the range, it's 50 meters times 10 times your mutant power. So 50 meters times 140 meters. I just want to make sure that if something bad happens to Bondo, because even if he's knocked unconscious, it'll displace him. So it'll automatically teleport him someplace else. And I just want to make sure he's far away. So that extra 20 meters, that's cool. I want to make sure he's way far away. Okay. Probably have to put this into feet because we here in America. All right. So now that I have put all of my mutant power scores where they need to be, and again, these don't have any scores, so we're going to move on. And the next place that we're going to move on to, let me just pull it up here. The next place that we're going to pull it on, that we're going to go, is classes. Now, this is something that is new to 4th edition Gamma World, but obviously not new to RPGs. I do not like class systems normally, and in this case, I don't like them. I like classless systems, but since we're doing this we're just doing this pure. We're just going straight from the rule books when we make these characters. I'm just going to roll with this. So, what classes do you have available in Gamma World 4th edition? Well, there are 4 classes that you have. So, let's do this. And I'm going to do something a little special here. So, let's do it like this. Put a representation of what I think these classes look like on the screen. So the first class is called the Enforcer. And the Enforcer is a warrior dedicated to mastering his body and the skills of war. As a character class, it is his responsibility to protect the party with his prowess and defeat beast and evil champions with his skill at arms. So that is the Enforcer class. The next class is called the ESPER. Now, the ESPER has explored the depths of his own mind and understands it well. He is the master of mental discipline. The realm of the mind is his battlefield. Now, kind of guess what class I'm going to pick after I go through all 4 of these. The next class is called the Examiner. No class is more prized in the societies of Gamma Terra than the Examiner. They are best known to decipher the uses of the artifacts of the ancients. Centuries from now, the Examiners may be credited with pulling humanity and the new sentient species up from barbarism into a new age of enlightenment. So that's the Examiner. And then you have the last class, and this class is called the Scout. Now, the Scout is at home in the wilderness, away from the cities and farms. It is he that guides the party, or she, and provides shelter and food in the wilderness. Although their talents are not greatly appreciated by the rest of society, they are invaluable to the adventuring party. So there you have it. You have the 4 different classes in Gamma World 4th edition: the Enforcer, the Esper, the Examiner, and the Scout. Now I have to pick a class, and I have to scroll up here because class is right here. And after going through all of that, I think I am going to go with, see if you can guess, the Examiner. Now you thought I was going to go with the Esper, didn't you? But not quite. I mean, I know he has all mental mutations. That would seem obvious. But remember, I put 15 in Bondo's intelligence. And there was a reason for that. And it's because of artifacts and figuring out artifacts. And artifacts are a big deal. And that is what I wanted him to do, which is why I went there with putting his intelligence as high as I could. So that is why I picked the Examiner class for him. So now we have our Examiner class picked. And what that means is that there are a whole bunch of, I'm not going to show it to you, but there are a whole bunch of kind of stock skills that each one of these classes get. And they are 5 for each class. So they each have 5 stock skills that's specific to their class. You know how classes work. And again, normally I like classless systems, but we going pure on this. So this is what they added back to 4th edition. And this is my least favorite thing about this. Okay. The next, I think the next one is common skills. Yes, common skills. Now you get those 5 skills for your class, and they don't really do any other skills. And I showed you like a skill list for 3rd edition. There's like 69 skills, and it's kind of lame because it didn't give you descriptions or anything like that, but it was kind of done as an afterthought. But at least they put something together, right? They had at least a list, and there's quite a few skills. Well, they don't do that here in 4th edition. The only ones that they think, you know, that are pretty much the only skills they think are pretty much the ones that you may want are reading, writing, swim, and ride. I disagree with that, but we're just going pure as far as making the character. So it depends on your class, and it's a percentage roll whether or not you have that skill. So for an Examiner, guess what? 100% read and write. There you go. So I'm going to have that. I have to make that skill. Okay, so we have 100% on the read and write, 10% on the swim, and 25% on the ride. Now this is a gorilla. I don't know too many things that he could ride, but I mean, cause certainly can't ride a horse. I mean, these guys are huge. But let's see, or maybe he's a smaller gorilla. Not too much smaller. I don't want him to be too much smaller. So we're going to roll percentile dice, and you have to roll that percentage or lower in order for you to have that skill. So we're going to see, number 1, if he has swim. Probably not, but let's see anyway. Click on the chat and let's see what he can roll. Yeah, 55. Okay, so he doesn't have swim as a skill. Let's see if he has ride as a skill. Does not have ride as a skill. Okay, so the only thing he has is read and write, which would make sense for the kind of character that he is. So we're a little bit closer to the end of this, but we still got one more video before we're done with Bondo, the mutated gorilla, Gamma World 4th edition. So be here next week when we will finish him. And also, I got a little special video coming up on Tuesday. If everything goes as planned, to be this special video that's kind of different from any other kind of video I've ever done on this channel. So, again, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell, and even if you don't do that, then crush that like button. Crush it. Crush it. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here because I've got to make more content. You guys are keeping me busy. I'm loving this. So until next time, happy gaming.